Good morning, viewers. Today, let us discuss a topic on gene organization in mitochondria and chloroplast. What is the organella genome? Before that, you should know what are organelles. Organelles are the materials or the living components or the vital components which are present or concentrated in the cytosol of a cell. So what do you mean by cytosol of a cell? The cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells do have some vital components which are present or distributed. What do you call it as organelles or organoids? So examples of organelles could be mitochondria, chloroplasts, you have Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Now these organelles will have genome associated with them. So the genome present in the chloroplast and mitochondria are called as organellar genome. Organellar genomes are otherwise called as extranuclear genomes. So it is present apart from the nuclear genome or the regular gene. Mitochondria is present both in animals and plants. Chloroplast is present only in plants. So mitochondria and chloroplasts occur outside the nucleus or they are present outside the nucleus in the cytoplasm of the cell. They contain genes, that is extra chromosomal genes, also regarded as cytoplasmic genes, organelle genes or extranuclear genes. All means the same. And how is the inheritance pattern associated with genes which are present in the organella genomes? It follows a non-Mendelian inheritance pattern. How does this organelle originate? That's origin of mitochondria and chloroplast. There's a theory called endosymbiotic theory. Endosymbiotic bacteria, the free-living prokaryotes, that had invaded ancestral eukaryotic cells and would have got established by mutual beneficial relationship or symbiotic association. So mitochondria was derived from a photosynthetic purple bacterium that would have entered an eukaryotic cell was believed billions of years ago. Chloroplast was derived from photosynthetic cyanobacterium. But now it's clear that these are the organelles which are present in the eukaryotic cell. Now, this organelle genome has certain features associated with them or characteristics associated with them. The first thing is they are small but very essential for the cell. Say in case of mitochondria, the genome is small when compared to the genome of the nucleus, but the gene is required for respiration. So it is very important where it becomes a site of respiration. In case of plastid, it is a site of photosynthetic process. Again, that becomes very essential and important factor. Next is multiple organelles and organelle genome. So here there are 20 to 20,000 genomes per cell depending on a type of cell. So imagine what could be the number of mitochondria present in these organisms. So one single cell will have around 20,000 mitochondria. So then the number of cells in the tissue and the count of the mitochondria there. So that is the importance and that is a feature. Next you have these mitochondria DNA are organized in nucleoids. So you have a nucleoprotein complexes containing multiple genome copies that should not be confused with the nucleosomes associated with the genome. The non-Mendelian inheritance pattern commonly has a maternal pattern. So it is from a organism single paternal or biparental. So if there is a cross, interspecific crosses, so some organism might have paternal or biparental inheritance pattern. Now it's necessary but insufficient for organelle function. So there are certain organelles which will support organelle functions. So you have membrane associated respiration or photosynthetic process which occurs in case of mitochondria and chloroplast respectively. There's support organelle gene expression, so which is supported by rRNAs, tRNAs, and ribosomal protein. They are actually the gene products which is required for the functioning of the mitochondria. So you have translated proteins which enter the cytosol. They're imported into the organelle. 10% of nuclear gene is predicted to be mitochondrial targeting, and 15% of nuclear gene predicted plastic targeting. Now, regarding the mitochondrial genome, the contents of mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA contains genes for tRNAs, rRNAs, cytochrome oxidase, NADH dehydrogenase, and ATPase subunits. So, mitochondrial DNA genes occur on both strands, and mitochondrial genetic information also occurs in the nuclear DNA. So you have DNA polymerase replication factors meant for replication. Then you have RNA polymerase transcription factor meant for transcription, ribosomal proteins, translation factors, and tRNA synthetase. Additional cytochrome oxidase and NADH ATPs are meant for ATP production subunits are also present. The most required mitochondrial proteins are coded by nuclear genes in the nuclear genome. So, 5 mitochondrial complexes with 13 mitochondrial DNA subunit genes are paired with 76 nuclear subunit genes that make the proteins. Say, for example, you have NADH, then succinate dehydrogenase, cytochrome BC, then 4-cytochrome C oxidase, ATPase synthase, all these are required for ATP production, which occurs in the mitochondria. Now, coming to the replication of mitochondrial DNA or genome, they follow the same pattern. That they have a theta model replication process, as in case of the nuclear DNA. And the transcription of mitochondrial DNA is like any other transcription process. They do require RNA polymerase and transcription factors for them to express. So most mitochondrial genes are separated by tRNAs that signal transcription termination process. Regarding the translation of mitochondrial DNA genome, the codons associated with them are non-universal codon. Say, for example, you have a codon UGA, which is actually the stop codon. The universal codon, it is stop codon, but if it is the mitochondrial codon, they will code for tryptophan, an amino acid. Likewise, you have AUG, which will actually, according to the universal codon rule, should code for isoleucine. But they code for methionine in case of mitochondrial DNA. One more example is AGA, which is actually arginine. Universally, it will code for arginine amino acid. But in mitochondrial DNA, that too in particular vertebrate, it codes for stop codon. So it means codons associated with mitochondrial DNA are non-universal codons, unlike the other universal codon. Now coming to the last part of the application of mitochondrial DNA. Why you need to go for the study of this mitochondrial DNA? So you can see the mitochondrial DNA is easy to isolate and it is having high copy number. You can also establish high copy number by PCR method. And most mitochondrial DNA is inherited maternally, so can be used in assessing the maternal population structure. Next is mitochondrial DNA sequences are referred to as haplotypes, but not the alleles. As a result of drift, these mitochondrial substitutions can be rapidly fixed, and typically they show higher levels of genetic differentiation between populations. So their usefulness comes with, or you can have an application with maternal and forensic science, where you can establish maternal identity. Also you can study phylogenetic systematics with reference to evolutionary relationship. It is also having application with population and conservation genetics. With this, I conclude the small topic on mitochondrial DNA and the usefulness of the mitochondrial DNA. Thank you.